Oh, dang it! I gotta go live on IG. There we go.
We are live.
It's all right.
Gosh.
Well, we're live.
We are live. Well, for all those who are tuning in, welcome to Vibrations. And how is everybody doing this week? This is the first week of January, is it? Or am I tripping? Is it we already passed?
It might be both. You might be naturally just tripping, but it is the first week of January.
I mean, we always talk about just keep one rolled, right?
Of course, keep one rolled always. Hey, and check out my sweater, y'all. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super vibrant on this guy right here.
Yep.
Look at that.
And that's ass too.
And he actually got this from Electro Threads. So shout out to them for the vibrant colors of this guy, and I will actually be having a blanket that guy's gonna go along with it. So I'm really excited about that stuff too.
Yeah, shout out to Electro Threads for this amazing, wonderful jacket.
Yes.
It's
really,
and it's all by hand.
See,
yeah,
look at that. But now
straight up skill.
Now can you wash it regularly though?
No, no. From what? Oh, yes, you can. You just can't dry it. You have to hang dry.
Okay, because remember,
machine wash cold, but gentle because the colors.
That's very true. Unfortunately, I wish I could do that for my new Zoom compression T-shirt that I've been wearing, but you could dry clean only.
Right, because it's super tight now. I don't know what materials it made out of. Do you know?
I did not read that. All I know is super comfy and like. Every single time I was doing a workout.
That's all you know.
That's all I know is.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man. It's super comfy. It's super it just works, you know. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy it very much. I got a lot of compliments on the shirt. Someone actually was like, "Why are you trying to be a villain? Maybe you just live long enough, son."
True, very true.
But no, I actually just dig the whole the get up of the design. Next time I'll wear this shirt for you guys. You can check it out and it's on Instagram page and you'll be able to see.
Shout out to DZ Baby for hooking it up with it though.
DZ
Baby, one of our good friends. He gave me a Hulk shirt. I don't know if you guys follow the page, you can see the picture that Jordan, Mr. Vibes over here uploaded with us wearing our shirts that we got for Christmas from our roommate. So I just want to give a shout out to DZ Baby. You already know what it is, baby.
Yeah, I already know what it is. But want to let you guys know that this is gonna be the quote-unquote pilot episode for Vibrations, because we did a pilot episode back in August when we were first doing this, and for the people who've been following us the whole time, if you remember our friend Alex Tip, aka the Spirit Guide channel provider, we were all doing this in a kitchen, in a fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
So
kitchen. In his kitchen, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, not my kitchen. Alex's kitchen.
Yeah.
So we're
third
party's kitchen. So that was kind of crazy, but it's really exciting though because now we're actually doing this and we're doing it together, and I get a chance to do this with my best homie. So rock on, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Always.
That was
oh my god, that was on camera too. But you know what? We were out of sync.
And you know what? Whatever. It was live. Fuck it. So
shit.
Anyway, this episode of Vibrations, we're not having a guest on. We will be having more guests on in the next coming weeks. But this one is kind of talking about how did Vibrations kind of come about. We do podcasting.
Jordan, you really dropped the ball on that one, buddy.
I did.
You really dropped the ball on that one.
And all I did was move slightly.
Don't move at all.
Well,
don't move at all. You should have done.
Well, I did have this from the start, but we don't have anything to into because we need an extension cord for an extension. And you even said it out on live together.
Alright, yeah, I didn't totally. It's alright, it happens. Whatever. Jordan done screwed up, but you know what? That's why I fucks with him, because he's accountable and he owns up to his own mistakes.
Exactly.
Those are the real people. Those are the strength right there. That's the character building aspects there. Oh, not a problem.
We're gonna just hand this over to our amazing people. By the way, I want to let you guys know we have to give a very big shout out to the Blue Grooves studio out here on B Street in Hayward. I just want nice enough to allow us to do this podcast here.
Yeah, very, very grateful, guys. Thank you.
So when if you guys ever get a chance, if you guys are trying to do a podcast or any type of editing or acting stuff, please visit bluegrooves.com and come on there and check them out. These guys are awesome people, very kind, very generous. So thank you again. Shout out to you guys in the booth for doing what you guys do best. So thank you. But today, well, you guys get to know a little bit more about trance and vibes and how we kind of came about. So
Yeah, damn right, you fucks.
so let's kind of trace this back all the way back to like 2014. So I was in high school at this time, and I heard them laughing in the background.
Yeah, I heard him too.
He's like, in 2014. I'm like, yes, I was in high school in 2014. I'm 22 years old. Trans, you are.
What? My bad.
I'm like, how old are you, fool?
Oh, how young am I?
How young you are? Yes.
My. Okay, I was like, okay, wait. Let me rephrase that
Your
again.
age.
My age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years have you How long have you been incarnated here on this vibrational plane of Earth?
There you go. Way to say it in such an intelligent level that only the highly intelligent can understand everything. Not saying not saying that if you don't, you're dumb. That's not it. Okay. So I've been in this plane of existence for 25 years. This body's 25 years old. Let's put it that way.
Oh man, seen some shit.
I'm not 25 years old. This body's 25 years old.
Yes.
See, higher perspective. Boom.
Boom. And hey, it's all good because for people who don't understand that, basically we're just saying that.
You're dumb. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, he's saying that. What I'm saying though is that you guys all have to think about just a little bit differently. These bodies are born and they also die. But the soul, the personality that you are, everything that makes you unique, that lives on. Mm-hmm. So if you believe in an afterlife, if you believe in reincarnation, if you don't, that's totally okay because you came to this vibration to experience things on different levels at different times. So whatever your experience is going through right now, enjoy it and be with it. Don't try to be something that you're not or be like, oh, well, they're wrong or they're right. Out beyond right and wrong, there's a field, and we'll meet you there. And that is actually from one of my favorite poets, Rumi. And I'm actually going to have like two of his poems and quotes on my...
two of his tattoos?
Oh, two of his tattoos, sorry. Two of his quotes on...
He's going to have them tattooed on his chest so it's near his heart.
Yes, and on my ribcage because that's just who I am. The first one's going to say, your task is not to seek love, but to merely seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And the other one that's going to be on my ribcage is going to say, my soul is from elsewhere, I am sure of that, and I intend to end up there. So both of those are going to be, the big one is going to be on my chest. And
across your titty?
Yep, across my titty. Right there on the heart. And then the other quote will be right next to it. So that's really exciting. But getting back onto topic, how did vibrations kind of come about? Well, again, let's go back to 2014. I had the idea to come up with an idea of... I had the idea to come up with an idea to have another idea.
Oxymoron.
Oxymoron. Of wanting to connect with people on just a different perspective level. Because obviously we see in media, in the news today, and sometimes just even in daily encounters, people have different perspectives on life, and it's always like either an argument or like no one can feel like they can really speak their own mind without there being like a harassment or like a super negative connotation to their belief system. Mm-hmm. And I wanted there to be a way where people could come and watch what we're doing and have conversations with different people from all walks of life. It doesn't matter whether they believe what we believe, if they're vegan, if they're non-vegan, if they love basketball, if they love NFL, if one supports Republican ideas or Democratic ideas. It doesn't matter. What we wanted to do is we wanted to just say, hey, how about we all just have a conversation so we can have a better understanding from where everyone's coming from. That way you understand and see the full perception of people as they are versus just having a quick judgment to, oh, well, they disagree with me, so therefore I'm going to argue with them.
Right.
And I just didn't think that had to be the case, so I wanted to create this podcast to help people out, and that was 2014, we're in 2018, so technically it's been 4 years to fruition for a bit.
So you've had this idea of doing that, but when did it actually start to really manifest as a solid plan?
Thank you for asking the question. Well, actually, it kind of started with my boy, Cheyenne. So Cheyenne had introduced me to Alex, who we actually talked about earlier.
How did you meet Cheyenne?
Cheyenne actually used to work with my mom.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So Darren knows him too?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, he used to work
Easy.
Deezy baby. He used to actually, Cheyenne used to work as HR in my mom's office. And I came in to visit her job one time because it was my very first time there. So she introduced me to everybody. And she said, oh, you and Cheyenne would probably get along. So she introduced me to a gentleman named Neil, and Cheyenne was also a friend of his. So we actually had a meditation circle. and over in Fremont.
Meditation circle?
Yeah, so it was me,
Oh.
myself, and a couple other guys, and we had a meditation circle out in Fremont. There's like this nice like lake area that has like a bunch of wildlife and stuff like that, and it was pouring down rain, and we were talking about a way for people to get together and unify to create a collective so that we could raise vibrations and also just help people on a daily basis.
So, in simpler terms, for the because sometimes
I know
when
and
you talk, you
long-winded. Yes.
yes, you
Short
go
term.
all over
We
the
had
place.
many ideas.
Shorten it.
Yes. We had many ideas to come up with. So we had a meditation circle. We meditated, and it was just a really cool time to get to know different people. Cheyenne had approached me, and he had said, you know, you talk very, very well. I like your perspective. You know, I would love to connect some more. And I said, sure, that's not a problem. So we ended up connecting, and probably about a month after, he said, hey, I have a friend who's actually doing a YouTube channel. And that's called Spirit Love. You can actually find some of his videos on YouTube and on Instagram if you can find it's at Spirit Love. You can find him there. And one of the cool things about it was like he introduced me. He's like, hey, you know, you just say a couple words on his channel just to give your perspective and just see where it goes. And I said, yeah, sure, I have no problem with doing that. You know, it seems cool. Now, the funny thing is, Cheyenne actually didn't show up, so it was just me. And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is. Like, nothing. I'm just like there. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. And we were actually at the Japanese Gardens over in Hayward. So we did the filming. And so we came on there. We were talking about different perspectives, consciousness, everything on that level. And after we got done, Alex had actually asked me if I was doing anything with like radio and podcasting. Now, my whole life, people said that I should do MC or radio or be a host of a TV show.
MC.
Yeah, an MC.
No one uses that term anymore, man. That's so long. That's so 90s.
I know.
It's awesome bringing it back, man.
And actually, that was my grandma. My grandma said MC. So that's saying something. She's like, you should be an MC. I'm like,
you know what MC stands for?
I actually do not know what MC stands for. Would you enlighten me, please?
Yeah, Master of Ceremony.
Well, looks like
I thought it was like I guess because MC like kind of mic check.
Right.
But and then I was like, it has to be something of like entitlement or something like master of something. But I didn't know what the C like ceremony. It never occurred to me. But yeah, it's a master of ceremony.
You learned something
So
every day.
MC Ren or MC Light, MC Shan, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Obviously, master of ceremony. Hammer, master of ceremony. Light.
Right.
You know, etc.
Ah, see, you learn something new every day, folks.
Shout out to MC Breed too. Can't forget you. Rest in peace, bro.
I feel you on that.
Ain't no future when you frontin'.
Throwing it back, bro. I love it.
Yeah, I think that was 1994, 5.
Oh wow.
Somewhere around the mid 90s, I
Huh.
think. Yeah.
Wow. I'll have to look that up. That up. No, he died at that time, or
No, that's when the song was really popular.
Okay,
on
that
the
makes
album.
that makes more sense because I didn't know you didn't say whether it was specified for the song or whether it was.
My bad.
No, it's all good. But one thing led to another. He asked me to come on again to do some more channels, and so if you look up Spirit Love and actually find the channel, you'll actually be able to see me do at least 2 or 3 videos with him. And I told him about my idea that I had to create a podcast. And I came up with the name Vibrations because Nikolai Tesla is a very, very intelligent human being. He's probably one of the smartest people that we ever had on planet Earth.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
one of his
Sure.
quotes that we actually have in the background of the YouTube channel is, if you want to understand the nature of reality, look through frequencies and vibrations. And I'm a person who really picks up on vibes, and I'm very, energetic. I'm highly energy sensitive, if you will. So I'm like, why not just call it vibrations? Everyone's different. Obviously, you look at myself and you hear how I talk, and then you see how Trance handles himself and how he talks and how he looks, and everyone's going to resonate with us differently. So I was like, well, why not have something where it actually claims that? Like, so vibrations. You could have any type of vibration that you want to, and you'll gravitate to one of us, none of us, or both of us. And that's the beauty of kind of what I wanted to create. And then one thing led to another. We started doing like a little bit of Instagram Live with his phone and just talking, and not for vibrations, but just for his channel. And then this one thing led to another, and law of attraction, manifestation of just things happening. We just end up getting traction, and then we end up doing a podcast, and then one thing led to another. And one day we were supposed to do the very first, funny enough, and you technically still have it. I don't know if you deleted it or not, but the very first video that we did ever for Vibrations, if you remember, was in his kitchen, and we were doing it, but we thought it was a practice run. it wasn't a practice run, so we ended up doing it live the entire way
Shit, I
through.
don't remember that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we did it live, and then
Oh,
remember
man.
you had it on your phone, but we couldn't upload it. So we were gonna upload it, but we couldn't upload it. So the very first episode, one,
Oh, it got lost.
yeah, it got lost.
No.
But it was so not it wasn't bad, but we just had no like structure to it whatsoever. Like worse than like I have all the videos.
Wasn't that kind of a good thing that it's gone? Now that I think about it.
Kinda, but also it kind of gives people
Is it-
like see where we started. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we're not super professional. Like we're getting started and we're getting our groove. But I think that's like the uniqueness of it is like if people can see our humility with it and grow with us as we're growing with this. That's like I think that in my perspective that think would be a little bit more like effective in terms of people wanting to like follow people and be like, oh look, I see where they started. And then
I see what your point is, but the problem with that is, some people that are quick on the trigger, they're gonna be like, oh, they have no structure, they suck.
right.
So then now it makes them like discontinue their pursuit of wanting to see what else we have or more about us.
And that's very true, and I do agree with your perspective. And then I'll also say to that, well, if you're quick to pull the trigger on that, well, then that just sucks for you because you're missing out on some really good stuff.
Well, obviously, yeah, but I'm saying like in that one little span of the difference between the highly intelligent people where they're like, you know, they'll be able to look at that as like, and then versus compared to it now, you know what I mean?
And we've advanced. We have a studio now. We're talking. We're just having a good time. You know, vibes, trance vibes. We came up with the names and everything. Like I was actually I was actually off of social media for like over a year because I just didn't want to deal with it. And to this day, I still really don't want to deal with it. But
That's why my ass is running the page.
Exactly. But you know, you need to have social media if you want to
Yeah.
get exposure.
At least in this era.
So
that's all that it's about. That's how you get around.
yeah.
Businesses are all over the place.
it's like,
It's
hey,
all online.
How am I going to connect with somebody? Okay, I need to go on social media. I need to do this. And think about that. Almost 8 years ago, you would think, if you're around our age and you're old enough to know what life was like before social media became a big thing. Like think about that. Like how would you connect with people? Like you had email. That was about it. We had email.
Or AIM. You remember AIM? AOL Instant Messenger?
Yes, I do
AIM.
remember AIM. And
That was the best, man.
You'd be like,
I was in
"Right."
high school. I was talking with Marcus and Ivan. Remember my first best the Three Musketeers? What we called each other in elementary school.
Yeah, I do remember.
Remember that?
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
We used to aim all the time. I was and then we stopped talking and all that. We kind of got grown apart. But I mean,
But
you were crazy back then.
But you were there. You were in high school when MySpace came out, weren't you?
I was in middle school. When
You're
it came out.
middle school. So how was that? How was that experience? Because obviously, like I was in elementary
Oh.
school when MySpace came out. So that obviously that's really.
I remember making the page. My old best friend when I was in middle school, because remember I moved. For the people that don't know, I was actually born and raised in Hayward, and I went to Hayward schools first, and then I got transferred halfway in my third grade year to another Hayward school to finish off the rest of the third grade year, and then I moved to Castro Valley ever since.
Oh,
My
okay.
fourth grade year, so my Hayward tenure ended in my third grade year technically. So during that course of middle school, I had obviously I befriended two of the people, Miguel and Brian. We were pretty much like a little clique. And then I remember I went to Brian's house and he lived in Five Canyons, and he was setting it up for me. He was helping me do it, and then I what I love about it is the page. Like, because when Facebook came out, that was like huge. It was at first it was kind of small to me because I didn't really hear that much. I just know that it was popular, but around me, if that makes sense.
No,
So like directly, no one told me that it's popular.
Right,
But I
but
just
you
heard
kept-
about it
a lot, and people were talking
eventually
about it.
line, and then it really started becoming huge, and now it's the largest social media site probably ever right now. Well,
Yeah,
one of them at least.
One of them, at least.
So, basically, back then, I used to love how you can customize the pages. Facebook didn't really have a page you can customize, so I used to like the pages and have the different fucking things like font or a different background in the thing, in the default background page.
Right.
So, I used to like that because of that. So I always picked MySpace over. And then when they started becoming more to music, it started becoming like more of a music channel.
Right.
I started like, fuck it.
Because I
don't want to deal with it.
Wasn't it Justin Timberlake who actually bought MySpace?
Oh, that's right. He did. Yeah, he did.
He bought MySpace to make it like a straight music thing for artists and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's cool.
Oh, that was the other thing. You could actually have a little playlist of your music on there. First, it was one song, and they upgraded it to like a real player, or like
a track player where you could just go.
A track list, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was so long ago, man. Like, wow. But it just feels like it was just like yesterday that I was just on there doing it.
And
honestly, I helped create your YouTube page, your personal one.
Yes.
That was 06.
This guy.
Had to be 06. No, sorry. My bad. Oh, wait.
Yeah, because I didn't mention that. Cool, because here's the thing. You helped me with my... So this is
I started in 06.
You helped me with my YouTube.
And I helped you with Nick's.
Yes, you did.
Man, I'm brothers.
But you helped me with YouTube, and you helped me with MySpace. So those are the two social medias.
I did MySpace?
Yeah, remember I had the Randy Orton photo
on there? Shit, yeah, you did. Yeah. That's right. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, so he helped me. So he and I, for those of you who don't know and are following us, Damien and I, this month, have actually known each other for 10 years. 10 whole years.
Yeah, that's a decade. Now, I know, obviously, but
like,
think about that. That's a decade.
That's a whole decade.
That's 10 years. That's almost like a generation. Well, maybe not. Maybe it still needs a little bit more time, but pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close. But I mean, also, there's studies show that if people stay friends for more than 7 years, chances are they're going to be friends for a lifetime.
Chances. But obviously not guaranteed. Nothing really is guaranteed.
Well, except for death.
That is true.
And taxes.
That's true. And taxes. Apparently.
And taxes, you can't get away from taxes because we all know what happened with Wesley Snipes. So, sorry, Wesley, I'm sorry. But I had to put that out there. But it's just kind of crazy to see like how much has changed since like MySpace and Facebook had just started. And now we have like a Snapchat, an Instagram, a Twitter, and like a bunch of other stuff that like I can't even. I'm just like, we have so much stuff to connect with different people.
I used to have a Snapchat years ago when it first came out. It was just plain send a picture and that was it, and then little text. It was very plain back then. Now it's got all these different type of software on it now that you can do a whole bunch of things, different programs.
Yeah, and I got rid of my Snapchat, I think, the year after I graduated high school. So that was like 2015. And I just didn't want it anymore because I was just like, I had so many people on Snapchat, and then I was like, I know all these guys, but like, why am I spending like almost an hour looking at a bunch of stories that I'm not participating in when I could be creating a story?
No, I know.
So that's where I started having like a disconnect with social media, because social media, even though yes, it's very useful, you can connect with a lot of people, show a lot of different stuff, all those things in that particular mindset. The issue with it though is that, and you and I have talked about this on several occasions, it gives you a false sense of reality because everyone's posting things that are really happy for the most part, or you're getting bombarded with a bunch of dudes who are really ripped, or a bunch of girls who are in bikinis showing off, or, and there's some cool things on there, don't get me wrong, but people get a false expectation, and that's what I kept seeing because I interacted with a lot of people who were like, hey, I'm supposed to look like this, or I want to do this and that, and I'm like, but you don't understand the full context of what's going on. So I just decided for like a year and a half that I just wasn't going to touch social media, and I just wanted to be away from it because it makes life much easier.
Well, that's why we're branching out with what we have now. This is our project, this is our baby. Now we're trying to show it up to the world like, look at my project, look, woo, look.
You look really weird doing that from that angle. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, looks like I'm swinging around something.
I'm like, are you having a moment? Do we need to get Casper to kind of help you out back down to center? But getting back to the project that you brought up, once that happened, I actually asked Damien, because of his personality and just how he does things, if he actually wanted to be my co-host. Because I had no problem doing this by myself, but it's not as exciting or as fun if you're just doing it by yourself and you gotta come up with a whole bunch of stuff.
Boring. I'm just kidding.
And sometimes to another person, maybe I am boring. Yeah, but that's why you're here, because you
balance it out, maybe.
You balance it out. I can be the interviewer and you can be the person who kicks back with a beer and just like, yeah, party.
Balance. I'm the balancer. See, you're like the water in this, and I'm like the fire.
This is very true,
bro. Balance. Are we talking about it? My fucking sweater. Balance.
He's having a good time today.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And then so we started. I made my Instagram page.
I'm lit as hell.
I know
you. Real.
Hey, we're being honest
I'm
here.
gonna be honest, bro. This is also like, yes, this is. It was your idea, but since I'm the balancer, this is where the balance comes into play.
Exactly.
It's gotta be humorous. It's gotta be super down to earth, man.
Exactly.
I'm lit as hell.
And
okay?
it's just
I'm
honesty.
pretty sure you guys can tell.
And it's just honesty, you know, or they could just think that you're just a crazy fucker, but you know.
They can think that. It's all good. I don't care.
I know you do.
Wait till they actually have a sit down conversation with me, then they'll be able to change their perception. Oh shit, son! I just did that. What?
That was nice, actually. I'll give you props on that one.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for the fist bump.
Of course. But I made the page back in August for my personal page, and then started off doing that, and then we started working on. We then created. How long was it before we actually made the vibrations page?
From when? From what point?
From when I started my. So I got back on Instagram and social media on 26th of August.
So basically, you're asking.
Yes.
Oh my bad. You were already going with your question. My fault.
No, it's all good. I was just gonna say. When after I made my profile, you know, to start saying, hey, I'm Mr. Vibes, you know, I'm creating vibrations, when did we actually have a vibrations like page where we would start doing live feed?
Page. Well, I'm the one who runs it. So I obviously created it. Now when?
Let's see if His Highness can have him remember this.
Yeah, because usually I'm in a better state like this. But problem is, it depends on what, because I think of so many things at one time, so my brain's like trying to scramble through the file cabinet.
We're gonna help him focus.
Like, where is it? Where is it? Where is the file? Honestly, I don't remember. Maybe
like September, October.
When did you start your? When did you make your page again?
August 26th.
Damn, you remember the date? Damn, even perfect, even better. Okay. We started in late September, so maybe about 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later.
The first episode was when?
We did our first episode probably you're right, about 2-3 weeks after we got.
Yeah, it had to be. So middle of September, maybe like around the September 12th or like 16th, somewhere there. I think is when it officially was up.
Yeah, we officially think we put it up, and then we did our first like live feed, and then just kind of continued on from there, like every once a week.
Yeah, I know. I definitely remember it was after your birthday. I know that for sure.
Yeah, so it was just like, hey.
So it's somewhere in between there because we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, and I can't even say words.
It's all good. I've been there. I was just there today and on the show.
Right. But for all of the fans who have been following us since the very beginning, thank you, by the way, because you've now seen us go from a kitchen to his room to a living room to here. And that's actually in a very short amount of time if you really think about it. Like, it's January and we started this in August.
Things are rolling. Things are really looking up. I mean, again, think about it. We started in a kitchen. And it wasn't even ours. It wasn't even ours. It was someone else's kitchen. And then now we're here. We have professional equipment around. We have great personnel that we've connected with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so amazing how like connection works. On like a side note, think about it. If you had met Darren, we wouldn't be doing this. You haven't met Darren, we met them. You haven't met Darren. You know what I mean? It just keeps going and going until, you know.
It's like puzzle pieces.
Going, yeah.
It's like depending on where you're at,
everything falls in. Like, that's crazy.
And it's also just being aware of the opportunity. I think a lot of people.
That's a good point.
Because a lot of people, you can create a lot of opportunities for yourself, but if you're not aware that you create an opportunity and you don't like attack it or like use that.
That's where perception comes into play. That's the whole point. If there's an opportunity there, you have to switch it and look for the opportunity in that perception.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just like not conscious about that, it's just gonna go right by you. Literally, you're just like, and it goes, oh hey, and it goes right by you, and you're like,
like
just keep walking.
You know those moments where like you were talking to somebody and you didn't, or you talking to a girl, and apparently she's flirting with you, right? But you are so oblivious that you're not even paying attention to the fact that she's flirting with you, and then all of a sudden someone has to go like, hey bro, she was flirting with you the whole time, and you're like, I wish I was just not paying attention.
Either that or I didn't know.
I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on other things. And I've done that before. I had been blatantly hit on, and I didn't realize that I was being blatantly hit on.
I think everybody has, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure.
I think everybody has.
I think that...
Because everybody, like, the deliverance is kind of different. It's not all the same. It's not like a template where it's like, oh, hey, how are you? All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that's an indication she want to hook up. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
No, we all have different perceptions, different vibrations, and how we're gonna go about it.
Right.
And then it's just about finding which one clicks, right? So that's cool. Like you and I click, even though you and I are polar opposites in
Right.
personality. We went there, folks.
Yes, I did.
But even though we're
Yeah.
completely different in personalities, you and I are, like this. Like we're thick and thin, and I got your back, you got my back. Kind of just works out that
I
way.
kill a motherfucker for you, bro. Straight up.
Straight up.
Straight up. If I see one entity, whatever it is, even give you a cockeyed look and just like gets in your face and like starts beating your ass, yeah, I'll definitely jump in there.
I appreciate that.
For sure.
Thank you. And I do the same thing for you. So
A couple of buckshots here and there.
Damn, savage. And so that's kind of where we're at today. We put in the work. We actually connected with different people, and to all the people that we connected with and who are watching or we're going to see this later, thank you. We appreciate you, and we look forward to
Yes,
doing.
thank you guys. You guys are awesome. We would not be here without you guys.
No, and we look forward to helping out all the people who we're working with and much more as we continue doing this.
Right.
And we're going to get better at doing podcasts every single time we do this, and we've come a long way. If you had seen us when we were first starting out,
The episode that I somehow lost. Oh, well.
somehow lost.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to have it. That's why it's not here.
Maybe somehow he lost it. Maybe
There we go.
maybe he was like, man, this is shit. I'm gonna throw this shit away.
Delete.
Like delete.
Delete.
I'm just gonna say I'll just tell Jordan that I lost it. He'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. But let me ask you.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if you really like. I guess just answer it directly.
Sure.
So, why are you still doing this podcast? Like, why are you still here? Why do you want to be a host?
So the reason why,
Like, obviously, let me kind of add a little sprinkle effect on it.
please.
So basically, sometimes people try it out for a little bit
Mhm.
and they realize that it's not for them, or somehow, some way they have a doubt in their mind
Mhm.
of like, will this work? Well, am I gonna fail at this? And then their fear of failure comes out,
Mhm.
or even fear of success, because I know that does exist too. It's kind of crazy how that is, but pretty much, why are you still here?
I'm here because my whole life, kind of tying back to what I was saying originally, people thought that, oh, I have a really good voice, so you should do something on radio, you should do something similar to that. But also because I think what I bring to the table and what I think we as a unit can provide, but also just myself, is allowing people to see a different perspective and being able to actually hold the space for it. Like, I have no problem with a person who was with the KKK or someone who was super racist to come onto the podcast and talk with me, as long as they could keep it cordial, because I want to understand where they're coming from. I want to see how they got the mindset that they had. I want to see that and then be able to show other people that two people from polar different ways of life can interact with each other, and it doesn't have to be an argument. It can be a debate, but debate and an argument are two completely different things. I can debate with you all the day long, but I'm not going to argue with people, because arguing is just not going to get you anywhere. So I wanted to hold the space for people to be able to bring something like that to the world. But also, I also wanted to bring more ways of how people could do more holistic healing for themselves, whether that be through meditation, whether that be through herbs and understanding. Like when we had James Jones on the podcast last week. Shout out to you, James. I hope everything's going
Sword
well for you.
King.
There you go. And we hope we're doing well. Herbs and just different people coming on who have done different things to get to a certain state of mind, and then expressing it, and then having other people who may be on that journey or looking for something along that line.
I see. So
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
that's what I do it.
it also kind of like helps the people who are on that specific journey too.
Yeah, or who are curious about it. Even if they're not even going
Oh,
to take on that
that's
journey,
true.
they can get more knowledge.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
now here's my question to you: why did you choose to be my co-host?
I don't want it. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, what made you want to stick around and keep doing this, and also be
My-
my co-host?
Oh, so the question is why am
Why
I
do you?
still here?
Why are you still here? Yes. Why?
And then why do I want to be your co-host? Or why did I want to be your co-host?
They kind of encompass the same thing.
Okay.
because, yeah.
All depending on how you look at it.
We'll just go with the initial question.
All right, for sure. I'm still here because I just feel it's just natural with me to just be something in entertainment.
Right.
Whether it be film, whether it be music, whether it be doing this, I like entertaining. I feel like that's just my natural calling. I like to entertain people. That's why, like, if you hand me a mic and just get me lit as hell, I'll just take over. I'll just take over. I'll just talk. I'll just talk. Because whatever's on my mind, I'm just being real to myself, and I don't care how people take it. I really don't. I'm very blunt and honest. But like, I guess to a T.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or a fault. However you want to say that fucking phrase, I don't fucking know how you say it. Whatever. Besides the point. But that's why I'm still here. And your reasoning of wanting to help out and branch other people's perspectives, I'm like, shit, well, I never thought of it like that, but that's awesome. I want to do that too. Because I like sharing things. I'm pretty open about things. I like sharing. You can take it how you want, but I'm just being authentic. Where it's like, I'm so authentic, you have to be authentic with me.
Right.
I can't. It wouldn't work if you had like this mask on. I'm like, because you got this real you in there. Here, the fuck, like, come on. So,
I'm sorry. Continue. You're almost done.
Yeah. And as for your co-host, I mean, I have an opportunity to do something entertainment. At the same time, I'm doing it with my brother. So, what better way? It's a win-win. I could have, obviously, if I really wanted to, I could have obviously branched out and looked for someone doing podcasts. But one, I don't really hear it locally so often, probably because everyone's trying to get out there, and let's be honest. I mean, I don't really know if podcasting is a super competitive field to get into, or it's really hard to get out there. I think it's because of the lack of listeners. Because when I was before I got introduced to the Joe Rogan Experience, shout out to Joe motherfucking Rogan.
Yes, sir.
My brother from another mother.
Another mother.
Ever since I heard that he had a podcast and I checked it out, I'm like, is this like how he does it, or is this like all podcasts do? So obviously I branched out and I listened to other podcasts, and then this is all going through my head when you were asking me to be the co-host.
Right.
So I was thinking about all of that and how it led up to, like, I could be like that too. I could run a web series on Honest, what it is. I could potentially meet him because we're technically doing the same thing. I can meet other people. I can meet Aubrey Marcus. I can meet Brandon Beecham. I can meet Sean Stevenson of the Model Health Show. I can meet these people who are speaking into other people's lives and giving them news about things. Or Rogan, when he's got a comedian guest, I'm sitting there laughing my ass off just hearing some dumb shit if I'm just, thrown off with my energy levels. Or maybe he's got someone like Jordan Peterson or Zach Leary or somebody of huge significance, or even freaking I can't remember his name, but one of the guys from Cypress Hill was on his podcast. He even has actors, athletes, Tyron Woodley, UFC, Stipe Miocic just a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So he's got Alex Jones. He's got all these different characters on his podcast, and they're all celebrities in their own way. So it's kind of like dope, and I'm thinking, oh, I could meet them? Like, hell yeah. But I'm not obviously doing this just to do that. I obviously want to help out.
Right,
that's one of my main goals. But obviously the other perks I'm like looking at too. I'm like, damn, that could really happen. Like, hell yes. And what better way to do something kind of when someone's already doing?
Yeah, and podcasting didn't really become a thing till maybe
I don't think so.
Like
I don't even think it even was. It's true. I mean, then again, it's definitely not as popular as obviously the other forms of entertainment, because there's not one that says, bro, you gotta hear this podcast, bro. It's really kind of far and few between.
Yeah, you gotta be like because obviously we live in a society where everything has to be very, very quick, right? Like, go on your phone. Okay, I need to go to Google. You tap one finger and Google automatically appears. You gotta go to Instagram. You tap one finger, Instagram appears. You're always looking down.
Simple.
And everything just is very, very fast paced.
Yeah.
But then you rewind back maybe 10, even 15 years ago, and everything was a little slower because you didn't have as much social media. Things weren't as instantaneous. People weren't just... I'm not saying that it wasn't completely that way, but what I'm saying is back then, I would say, even though, yes, I was a little kid, and you're like, well, you were a little kid, how would you know this? Okay, well, talk to people.
We all remember things when we were little.
Yeah, and then also just talk to adults. I'll just talk to people who are older than you, who may have been around for a decade. Some of them will seek to understand and respond to you after to understand you versus react and try to just say something after you've said something.
Sometimes I just don't give a fuck.
And sometimes they just don't give a fuck. And
No.
if that's the case, well, then you know what? It's all good. I don't need to be talking to you.
Yep, all good. I'm going to go vibrate somewhere else, and you're going to vibrate right here.
Hey.
So, bam, we out.
So bam, you're good. So yeah, so I mean, this is just kind of one of the things that we're doing, and I wanted to make sure that you guys understood where we're coming from and why we're doing this. But also, again, it is a way for us to raise awareness on consciousness and helping people understand different ways that they can help themselves through tough times in their life, or just have better clarity on the direction of life that they're going. And everything obviously takes different turns in our life. You know, people have been bullied, people have been gone through many different experiences that could alter their perception of reality and could cause more harm than good. And so if we can use what we know and what we understand, what we've gone through, even in our own personal lives, to help other people.
Or others.
Or others.
By the way the guests are coming on, or just from what we've, I guess, communicated with other people about their experience, their perception.
And then we can change other people's lives as well. And if it's
nobody's really alone. No one's really alone. Everybody goes through something.
Oh yeah.
No one's alone. Not like my situation's yada yada yada. It doesn't mean that is clearly. That doesn't mean everybody else does not have that. There's you're all alone. No one shares that same problem with you. Oh, there's many people who share the same thing.
I mean,
everybody deals with it differently though.
There's 7+ billion people on this planet. I'm pretty sure someone has gone through something exactly that you've gone through, and just like, oh yeah, I went through that too. And you actually be surprised, like what you attract that. So it's like sometimes, like I ran into 2 people who have gone through being bullied. I mean, there's a lot of bullying, obviously, in America and around the world. But you know, someone who actually like specifically like was bullied because they were a different ethnic background, or
like yourself.
Yeah,
like you're obviously. It sounds like you're resonating from what your experience was, right?
Yeah, I had a little bit of experience with my ethnic background being ostracized. From
I haven't heard that word in ages. Holy shit.
Ostracized when I was really, really little, but it really stopped right before I actually got into my 4th grade year. And that's because I was actually more in a black community and more of the Hayward School District versus the other districts that I was in.
You and I from the same city.
Yeah, just different parts.
Yeah.
Haystack, keeping it real. So here's my question for you, brother man. I think we both can answer this collectively.
Fuck it, let's answer collectively then.
The goals for what we're trying to do with this vibrations. Where are we going, in your opinion?
Where are we going?
Where are we going? So we're obviously here.
Yeah.
But where are we heading to?
Man, I'm about to say yes, Jordan. Yes, exactly that. Where are we going? So just the whole year, like an encompass of a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
A whole year. Boy, I'm honestly feeling really good about it. I really do. I really feel that this is going to help branch out other people, and other people are going to start talking about it. Obviously, time will tell with that, but I do see it going elsewhere. We obviously have enough connections to where we can branch out a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., obviously vegan. Shout out to Vegan Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Knows the lead singer of Weezer. Obviously, so a lot of people are familiar with Weezer. Some aren't. Maybe they've heard of them, but never actually listened to the music.
Beverly Hills.
So that singer could be here meeting with us.
Yeah.
Like, that is kind of mind-blowing, because I've never thought I would meet someone who's had success in the music industry, and the music industry is one of the toughest fields to get into. Actually be here in person on our creative show that we started from a fucking kitchen. So basically, like, to kind of jumble all this up, we can definitely have a lot more clout on our record, on our episodes here. And what's I think even more impressive is the fact that this is only the 2nd show we've done in the studio, and we're already lining ourselves up for these already. It's not even like this is episode 40 or 50 or even 100,
right,
and we're getting these type of people who have pretty successful backgrounds. Now they can actually be here in person. That's what's crazy. And you know how networking works. It's like a freaking branch. This whole branch leads to one, another one leads to another, or it's more like a chemical compound. All different chain and amino acids and all those intricate parts put together is branching out. Weezer could probably know James Haddonfield from Metallica. And then it's like, dude, we got to get that guy on now. Pronto, stat! So, I do see big things coming on this year. And you and I, obviously, for obviously for the people that don't know, we're trying to make huge goals by the end of this year that we're not going to be employed anymore.
Yes.
That's huge because I definitely want to stop working for another person. I think it absolutely sucks. My mind was expanded for the past couple of years of realizing where I was, and I've had some very fortunate people to speak upon in my lives, and built great networking connections with them, and it didn't even occur to me like what I was doing. So basically, at the end of the year, I'm trying to not obviously my attempt, and I'm trying to put it in I'm going. You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna put it in vibration right now. And I'm gonna say by the end of this year, I'm not gonna work a job the rest of my life. This is done and over with. I'm 25, and I'm gonna do it because I don't want to do this anymore. It's ridiculous.
And
There's way outs, but you just gotta find them.
and you, have to be
gotta
willing to-
stay on the goal. You gotta stay disciplined with it. Even if the days are going bad, you gotta run through that shit, man. That's why I'm the Hulk, man. The Hulk runs through anything in front of him. You place anyone in front of him.
except for Scarlett Johansson.
What?
Except for Scarlett Johansson.
Okay. Okay, yeah. All right. But obviously, in terms of a physical thing,
I just
whatever
wanted to give you
challenge,
shit. I just want to give you shit.
I mean, that is a challenge, but okay, minus her, anything, a wall, a container, another person who's just as strong as him, or if not stronger, a Hulk will just run through that shit. Just, well, I'm not gonna think of a plan for this guy, so I'm just gonna run through this motherfucker, and that's how you just gotta do it. Just Hulk smash that shit. You'll get knocked down. Hulk gets knocked down, but he'll get back up.
Oh yeah.
He'll definitely get back up.
But I also don't think if you don't get knocked down, then how do you know the value of getting back up?
No, that's true.
Because
That's true.
anybody who's also on the same vibe where you're like, screw a job. I don't want to work for another person. I don't like being told what to do, like myself. And
Rebels,
This guy.
yeah.
I don't like being told what to do. Don't get me wrong. If you give me a suggestion, I'm more than
The
happy.
same
to hear
way
it.
I tell people all the time.
Like-
If you ask for a favor, it's all good. Just especially on your deliverance, how you word it and how you say it, and then I'll be like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you.
Right.
Or I'll take it a step further, and I'll do extra nice things. But if you straight request or order or demand, or any of the three like, what's the word I'm looking for when another word is similar to another one?
It's
Synonym.
Yeah, it's synonym.
Okay.
It's synonym.
Is it? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's synonym. Well, I mean,
That's right. An antonym is the
Antonym
opposite.
is opposite.
Okay.
So synonym is yes.
I guess that's it. All right. Whatever.
Men are English teachers.
So
are
any
peasants.
one of those three words, no me gusta.
No me gusta.
No.
You know what's really sad? Our English teachers would be so sad at us right now. Like, you don't even know what a cinnamon was. Cinnamon. Cinnamon.
He said cinnamon.
I like, you don't know what a
Cinnamon.
cinnamon. I mean, hey, they're really close together. Cinnamon, synonym.
That's crazy how words are like that, man. Like when Eminem, the rapper, I
Yeah.
thought he had it spelled M like the candy when I was younger. Obviously, this is before I figured out what copyright and copyright stuff is.
Right.
By having the same name, but I thought legitly like his logo would be like an Eminem and shit, because that's what I associate with Eminem. So
That makes sense.
otherwise, there should be a motherfucker out there named Skittles, like SKITLZ. Skittles.
And what was he rapping? Would you say he would be a rapper, or would you be like some type of like trance music thing, or would
Nah,
you be like
he'd
rock?
like a rapper.
Be a rapper.
That'd be like the opposite of Eminem. He's so good that he's like the opposite.
So he's so horrible that he's actually decent. like
I was just about to say, are you about to drop his name right now?
I was thinking about dropping his name right now.
Say it.
Just like Ugly God.
Ugly God. Shout out to Ugly God.
Yeah. It's okay. So let's kind of backtrack.
I
Ugly
know
God.
we've been.
No.
I'm
I'm talking about Ugly God. I'm talking
Dude,
about.
that guy's
Ugly God.
got skill.
I-
He is good.
I have
okay.
to give him credit. I gotta give
He's-
the kid
he's
credit.
good.
He's really good. He's 20 years old right now. Doing.
He's only 20.
He's only 20.
He's only 20 years old.
He's only 20 years old.
I thought he was my age.
Nah, dude, he's like 20.
Oh my God! Wow, this kid's heck young.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure if I'm botching it, Ugly God, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure DZ Baby said that he's only 20 years old. So when he said that, I'm like, 20-year-old doing some big things. That's pretty
And I'm
awesome.
all sitting there like, the fuck am I doing? He's 5 years younger than me, and look at him. And he's talking about getting bitches wet with water. Like,
It's just yes.
if you never heard the song Water, you gotta listen to it. Yes, the lyrics are bad in a lot of people's eyes, but if you really hear the flow, he's good. He's really good. If you give him legit lyrics that actually like have a story to tell, like follow through, god damn, he would be smashing.
Well, the funny thing is that he knows that. I'm pretty sure he actually is good, and I'm pretty sure he could actually really rap.
I think he's just taking this and running with it because he knows it gives him profit. And he's like, I can easily make success just making some bullshit.
Yeah. And I think we live in a society
Fuck.
right now where we can actually do that. Where we can
Yeah.
actually go, hey, I'm going to create something funny that's so blatantly stupid that people are going to watch it anyway. And it's going to help me, it's going to be entertaining for them, and it's going to help me become successful.
Isn't that funny that when I was like mentioning this about like a couple hours before the podcast, I said anybody would. I think a lot of people would pick humor over like actual, like seriousness.
Yeah.
Of the music,
Oh.
because obviously, like if you take it serious, it's like there's so much competition that you have to be better than the rest somehow.
Yeah.
Versus funny, anybody likes funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's simple and it's easy. If you make someone laugh, we obviously associate like laughing as like a great time. So then I think that's in a psychological sense, we send that off as like we like that better, or we think it's better because it's more funnier. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. People usually pick the funniest. It's like, damn, that's funny. I like this one.
I still actually remember a card that I actually played, probably the funniest card that
You see my point though.
No, I exactly see your point. But I was going to tie it to Cards Against Humanity real quick. I actually played a card one time. Like, it was myself, it was Jack, our good friend Jack Morris. Shout out to you, Jack. Hope you're having a good day, by the way, brother. And I forgot who, I think it was Henry. And we were playing Cards Against Humanity, and we were lit. We were hella high. And one of the funniest things about it is he goes, okay, the main card, obviously, that had to be played was...
No, I'm just constantly checking the freaking timer on the IG live.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how it was a freaking hour.
Yeah, you're
So
absolutely
it
right.
only gives us 2 minutes countdown, so I'm just checking that. So that way I might have to tell the people, like, it's about to end.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, just thank you for keeping track.
That's the only issue with that.
I know, sure. But you'll also be able to see this on YouTube as well, so just giving you guys
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, yep. On YouTube there. It'll be live and longer. So even though IG will shut off, you guys can check out the actual video on YouTube.
Yes, and you'll be able to find...
And listen to it on SoundCloud.
Exactly. And you'll be able to find this YouTube video under Vibrations hashtag or number 2.
Is this how you're talking now?
Yes, I use my hands to talk so that way people can see all the amazingness that I'm throwing out there on the world. Are you enjoying it? Like what?
It's not pointing to me. I'm not enjoying it.
I know. There you go. I had to
It actually flinched. That's the part.
That's that part.
Oh shit.
I'm like, all I did was just...
Because I know that we have water on the table, so maybe your fingers would be like wet because cold bottles. So maybe, never mind. You get what I'm saying?
Let's find out.
Oh god.
Yep, it's cold.
Yep, and he just did wipe that on me on camera.
I did. I know.
Fuck it.
We're just like, he and I are so close, it just doesn't even matter. Just like, I'm like, I love you like a brother anyway. Like, I do that too. If I had a brother, like actual, like, legitimate, like, blood brother, because I don't have one, I would do that to my brother as well. Heck, I do that to my sister. I've done it to my sister before. Marlena? Heck yeah, I'm just water.
Water.
She was just like, I hate you. I was like, love you too. But no, God, we were talking about
We got
Cards
sidetracked,
Against.
like,
I know.
oh.
So Cards Against Humanity. I remember one of the cards that I had was like you had it had something to do with you are eating pancakes and someone comes up and gives you, and then I put down a card that said 8 ounces of extremely potent black tar heroin. And I was just like,
Whoa.
and we were dying. And I don't know exactly why we were dying, probably because we were lit. But it was just so funny in the context, because it's like, wow, who would devour 8 ounces of pure Mexican black tar heroin? First of all, that just sounds scary. Just thinking about that. Just like
Mexican, what is that? Mexican black tar, bro? You want some? Oh, gee, I don't know, man. I don't know.
what's gonna happen to me?
I don't know.
I'm like, well, you're gonna lose mine.
Oh, fuck that. That sounds pretty bad. I don't want that. What else you got?
I'm pretty sure you would die before you even got to the first
I
ounce.
have white tar.
I'm so happy I thought you were about to say I've done heroin before, and I would be like, when? In the 10 years that I've known your ass, I have never once seen you. Is this a secret?
Never. I got great looking veins.
As do I, and obviously you should, because with your pale skin, yeah, we better be able to see. But no, so I know we get off track a lot, but at the same time, this is kind of how we naturally just have our conversations. So you're kind of just seeing more of the authentic selves with us here.
Yep.
But we do actually have outlines when guests actually come on, so that actually helps out a lot more.
Yeah, we do, and I'm pretty sure you guys notice. Mr. Vibes here is more the interviewer and the structure guy. He's more precise when it comes to that. Me, I'm outside the lines, baby. I'm the balancer. I'm the one. I'm the one that equalizes it. I'm the one who's high energy, and I'm just erratic. And I like being that way. It's more fun to color outside the lines.
But that's also just who you are.
And obviously, yes, Well, yes, that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
more fun to be like that. And I'm showing off from my perception.
Right.
So I like to be like that because there's nothing holding me down. So I feel like I could just be however I want. I can raise my energy whenever I want.
So you want to say you want to go Super Saiyan whenever you want?
Well, exactly. And that's why, like, when I'm at like this, I technically can. I release everything. I'm just like powering up all the fucking time. Just try. Just go ahead and raise yourself. I'll go even higher.
Yeah.
No one's gonna out energy me when I'm like this.
Yeah.
And I want to be.
This fool.
Sorry, not trying to stay from an ego place. Well, maybe a little bit. I kind of dipped in it a little bit.
At least he's being honest with himself.
Yes, I am being honest.
See? And boom. Now.
I used to lie a lot. Like a lot.
Why? Why do you think that was?
I don't know. Shit. I'm gonna have to do some deep thinking here. Why did I lie a lot? That's such a great question. I think it's obviously the truth does hurt, so I don't want to hurt people by telling the truth.
Huh.
So I lie a lot just to cover it up.
So making sure that I have an understanding. You lied a lot because you didn't want to hurt other people's feelings. Was that the main reason, or was that just one of the reasons why you did that?
Let me clarify. Back then, I was a lot more selfish, so I'll do almost anything to save my ass. Number one, that's the main one. And number two, it is about the other feelings. Because if I was just saving my ass, I would just blatantly say whatever,
Right.
and then not give a shit. But I do. So I basically, instead of going one route, the truth route, and then one route, the complete bullshit, but you hurt someone route, I go the middle one. Where I'm like, okay, I'll sort of stretch out the truth, but I'll throw in a little lies here and there. So that way it kind of throws them off, but it doesn't hurt them at the same time. So it's the best of both worlds.
Okay. And in your experience through that, what did you learn, and then what helped you stop
Honestly,
doing
it's just
that?
better just to tell the truth completely because, first off, you know that you've been honest, so there's no guilt, there's nothing holding you back.
Right.
And then I just felt it more rewarding. Like, I feel like weights lifted off. Plus, again, it's just being honest with yourself, I think, is the main. There's really nothing more to it. That's just the overall feeling. We were watching Bright, Netflix special.
With Will Smith and Joel. His name.
Joel?
So yeah, the guy who plays the org in the movie called Bright, which you can see on Netflix. I believe his name is Joe Elderon. He played in the movie was Warrior with Hardy.
The fight one.
Yeah, he's the older brother. That's the same guy.
Okay, I didn't see that, but for those of you who have been talking about shit, what were we talking about before? Because now,
It's all trying to because I've been away from my memory cognitive.
God damn it, because now because you've been away for so long, and for which I know you have, and then my ass, I'm lit as hell. So
We're talking about why you switched. What's why you switched over?
We got the timer going. 150.
150.
Instagram.
For Instagram, that's fine. But no, you're talking about truth.
Yeah. So you guys watch the podcast on Instagram, tune us on YouTube. Just go on the search. 2017. Look in the upper right, some slider, advanced settings, and go ahead. Look there.
Yeah, it's either under Vibrations 2017 or Vibration and the thing again.
I know.
With my hands, tend to talk with our hands a lot because we're usually always trying to explain something.
You're my best friend, bro.
But we'll be under Vibrations number 2 or Vibrations 2017, so you'll be able to see the live feed from there. Yeah. So, but you're talking about truth. You're talking about why it is that you switched over and that you said you felt better about.
I do remember that part. I've cut it. I was in, so I lost it.
Well, you talking about Bright. Well, we were talking
What was that? It was Sophia, his daughter. Remember how Will Smith was saying that she tells the truth?
Yeah.
And that was like aware that the reason why she said it but I don't remember exactly what he said.
I believe what he said in the movie was like, even though she's done whatever she did, it's better about telling the truth because it's like a cleanse.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I feel that when I tell the truth.
We'll find out what happens next. But we're still on camera, so you're okay.
Oh, there we go. It's
I
back on.
think
Sweet.
that died.
Hmm?
I think that died. The camera.
I may have,
Yeah,
but this is not.
we're still rolling. But yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Hi.
Hi, folks.
We're talking about truth.
Talking about truth, yes.
Yes. What were you gonna ask me?
So what I was gonna say is, so you feel like a cleanse that gone down with you?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot lighter when it comes to things, and obviously, it's best to be honest with yourself, and then the message gets displayed more genuinely if you really can be honest and say it in a good tone. The deliverance is always important, because if I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, those shoes ugly as fuck. Obviously, my deliverance is kind of aggressive and very blunt,
Right.
but like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, my man, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think they look awesome, but make you look different.
Right.
So obviously that kind of matters.
So instead of just taking a blunt axe to someone, kind of just.
I went in the head, no pun intended,
I was
because
about
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to be
You
like,
said axe in the head, so.
So, but I see what you do there, and I also I've always had a guilty girl.
Hey, I would not lie, man.
Nope.
I always wanted you to lie. I'm like, the Jordan, just like that experience, which I don't know, but that one time, you know what I'm talking about? And then, freaking, your mom was like, I told you to kind of like cover for me.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then I still got in trouble because I was on grounded or I was on
Yeah, you were
or something
grounded.
like that. Yeah, and then she ended up calling my house because I wasn't supposed to be at your place.
Right. I forgot what you did, but you asked got in
I think it
trouble.
was just my grades.
Oh,
My
yeah,
grades
your
were bad,
grades.
so I was grounded because of my grades.
Yeah, and that was hilarious because you didn't take that grounded thing with shit. That was hilarious.
There's not control of me and dictate what I do.
And you're
So
like,
I'm like, I'm gonna do what he wants to do. Shout out to Lil Uzi Vert because I love his do what I want. I do what I want.
right, and I've actually never heard. I've only heard like one song by Lil Uzi Vert, but
I will slap it on the
sound.
You'll be able to see why.
I have it forward. But yeah, no, I always had a guilty conscience. I think just growing up, it hurt to lie. Like every time I tried, like I would feel it like, vibrationally, and it was just, am I doing this? This doesn't feel right. And one time that I did cover, so this had to be like 2009. But do you remember? Oh, folks, if you remember how people get together and they like old school like wrestling matches like this at home, and we were in it was Nick, it was you, and I think one other person, and we were wrestling in your room, and I gave you that RKO in your bed, and we broke
Frame down. Shit, I'm broke.
and your
You know that moment.
yeah that
Moment where you hear some break. The first thing like, oh my god,
and you're like,
and then you go assess the damage. Then you go, and you go, and you're thinking, oh shit, we're screwed. We're screwed. So either two happen, and this is where decision making comes in. Do I hide this and not say anything, or do I just completely come, or you don't say anything, you're like, oh, I don't know what happened. It's kind of try to play it off saying you don't know.
right.
The other one, the other door you could go to is blame which I have done. And third,
Yeah, at least you
the
got it.
last one, the truth, just be honest. Just say you broke it.
Yeah.
Just take it. Just take whatever punishment's coming your ass whooping might be here, and that punch went up, you're like, fuck.
You're
I
like,
saw this one video of this kid, and apparently he broke something. Some window or some glass. I know it was something glass. I didn't pay attention to what he broke. also because the way the filming was, it was pretty bad and pretty hard to tell for me. But apparently, he snitched on himself as the joke, so he ended up calling his mom and saying, "I broke the whatever." So it's funny because typically we usually see kids trying to like, "Oh, he broke it, not me."
Right.
He ends up like concerned, like, "I'm gonna tell my mom this. Hey, mom, hey, you know that?" And he starts telling the thing, "I broke it."
Wow.
Yeah. First off, shout out to that kid for accountability because he's got way more accountability than half you fucks.
And I think, and again, everyone's different.
Sorry, you go coming out.
Yeah, no, it's okay, and I understand your context. You've had a lot of people we've had a lot of experiences where people are not on par with just owning to things that need to be owned up to, so that things can just move a little bit smoother, and that makes perfect sense. And so we broke your bed, right? We broke your bed, and then your
Man, that sounds so bad.
It
That
just
sounds
really,
so
really
bad.
It
The
sounds
way
really,
that came out.
But I mean, the fact that you went there when we were already on the context. Yes, I understand.
I know. I'm just saying. I couldn't help it, man. My humor was kicking. And I'm like, he said what now?
Yeah, I understand.
in that way. Delivered it in that way.
I'll tell a second story about the shirt in a second that ties in with that. But your grandma came upstairs or like was talking to us and it's like,
Oh,
what
right, she did
happened?
say that.
And she's like, what happened? What was that? And so I was the first one to speak because like you guys didn't know what to say, and I was just like, I accidentally fell and I accidentally hit a part of Damien's dresser, and then
You said that? I don't
yeah.
remember saying that.
Yeah, because you know how I know that I remember saying it? Because the comment that you said after I got done with the lie, you said, "Wow, Jordan, that was actually a really good lie." And I was just like, "Thank you." And then we went back to doing what the heck we were doing. But that's exactly what happened because I was the one that like on the fly used like improv skills from like acting and like saved our asses.
Improv is the best, in my opinion, because you're able to freelance it better. Oh, excuse me. You're able to freelance it better.
Yes.
Think about it. Like, follow my lead, and I can, or I could lead.
Yeah.
It really depends. Script is actually harder because you have to stick to a specific regime.
Yeah. And I agree.
I'm just saying of the two.
Of the two, yes.
Of the two, I think, in my opinion, the script is harder.
And then I would also agree with you on that. If you are doing improv, you can just throw whatever in there and just kind of like roll with it. Whereas as a script, you need to be able to like remember every single word.
But then again, I'm thinking it's just naturally us. Some people that are kind of like, yeah, but I don't know what to say. Like if they're on camera, like I don't know what to say. What do I talk about? Talk about when someone says anything. It's like, well, I think we need some sort of like a structure, or some people need a structure. I'll be like, okay, just give me a joint, give me a mic, and I'll go. That's it. That's all I require.
Yeah, and
all I require.
I would say those are you know how you see those memes where it's like there's two different types of people. It's like you would be one of like the other person. Like there's the person who needs to have like everything laid out first, and it's like okay, it's gonna look like this, and we're gonna do it this way, and da da da. And then there's the people who just say fuck it, and then they just go, and that's just it works out that way. And yes, I finally dropped the bomb. I've been doing so.
And what?
You didn't catch the joke.
So I was the yawn.
I was saying I dropped the F-bomb for the first time on the on this episode, so I'm like, oh, I was doing so well, but okay anymore. I know.
And this is we're in with it. That's okay. The ones that people weed themselves out at the end of the day. That's all good. I mean, that's the whole point of having balance here. Obviously, we have you. I can clean up if I really want to.
Oh yeah.
I really want to. I can't really clean up. I'll have to kind of tone myself down a bit, but I like to be like this because this is just naturally me. Better, more.
Yeah, but also.
But me, more. Ryback.
Of course. Hey, shout out to Ryback, by the way.
Ryback.
But obviously, that's the dynamic, like you just
exactly.
said. I'm more the interview, more calm, laid back type of guy. You're the guy who is like, more super outgoing, more energetic version. Now I can be energetic, but it's just a different type of energetic that I would be bringing to the table. So it's not necessarily the same as it would normally be for you.
Right.
Because for you to be like me, you would have to put a lot more effort into like toning yourself down. For me to be like you, I'd have to put a lot more effort in like so that I'm hyped up and all psyched up. Like, what am I gonna do, man? Like, what you gonna do, brother, when these awesome sweatshirts...
I was in a Randy Savage and shit
do
and
it,
Mega
do it.
Powers. I know, hang on. I'm just trying to think of what to say with this. Our sweaters fill out our gains. What you know about that, brother?
And
I know it's probably terrible, freaking random Randy Macho Man.
actually, that was a good
fucking
voice.
impersonation,
The voice was awesome. Your words sucked, but there are. But
Appreciate the honesty. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, no worries. Your voice was actually like on point with Randy Savage. Your words just were shit. So that's
I
all.
didn't really have anything to talk about. When you said sweaters, I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to lead on that.
You know what? If it was vice versa and you said some shit about sweaters, I probably wouldn't know what to say either.
Oh, good.
I'd be like
Not
the warmth.
wrong.
I'd be like the warmth.
Same.
That the warmth that we have for our gains, brother, are so immense.
Gains, brother.
That these, I don't even know how big my biceps are. I would say like how
If Hulk Hogan had 24-inch pythons,
I don't have 24-inch biceps.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Let's go with like 10.
I don't. Let's be real. Probably like 12. Probably half of that.
Okay, that's 12 and a half.
That's
These
12
12.5-inch pythons, brother, are so warm that every single time.
So what? Warm?
Warm because of the sweatshirt.
Oh, okay.
We're running with the joke. Anyway.
I just completely trampled it, so we're gonna have to scrap that, throw it in the wastebasket, and have another one.
Good. Can you spit in the joke, please?
You want me to spit on the joke too?
Spit. Thank you. This we're not throwing it away.
Okay.
We did this on my TV.
All right. New paper.
New paper.
All right now.
Mental. Now, one of the things though, and this will be a little more, probably the last topic, and I'm actually, for the folks who've actually followed my personal page, I will actually be reading one of the Daily Stoics for today. So you guys will be able to see this actually on the podcast now. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing, is whether myself or Trance, we might bring in some literature and talk a little bit about some passages and kind of give both our take. Because obviously you'll see my take on it for the most part, but you maybe want to hear Trance's version of what he takes from it. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. And obviously if you don't want to hear mine, I'm not going to take it personal. It's all good. Again, there's just some people vibe with just certain people. That's all. That's all, folks.
But also I think it's actually kind of cool because like it's someone different who's also giving the perspective, because you can hear my perspective on my page. And
I feel like that's the best part about connecting, man. That's the best part about just getting to know somebody. Male or female, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just get to learn to...
Or alien or extraterrestrial, whatever you are.
Whatever, even if you're a
It's
Neva.
all good. Just sit down, have a joint with me, and just talk. Just talk.
I love how
Alright.
I love how he throws there's like mandatory joint has to be in the
Of
conversation.
course. I love marijuana. It also helps me. That's really why. Helps me a lot.
Now it helps you, but
Yes.
but would you be one of those people who say you need it, or were you one of those people who say it just allows you to do a little bit more, but you can still do what you do without it?
The latter of the two.
The latter of the two.
The latter of the two.
Awesome. Well, today's date is the 6th.
Sixth.
Correct.
You were hella confused, like six. You were walking in there in your mind, just like six.
Yep.
Okay. Six.
Okay,
All right,
we
for sure.
are 6. So, the Daily Stoic for January 6th. Where,
Oh damn, that's
who, what, and why. And this is actually from Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 8.52.
He's got a lot of them. You've been saying his name recently for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's funny enough. So, with the book that I'm currently reading, for those of you guys who do not follow my page and do no idea what the Daily Stoic is.
Yeah, tell the folks about this, man.
The Daily Stoic is 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living, featuring new translations of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. All three of those are Greek philosophers that are charted in this book. The book is written by Ryan Holiday, best-selling author of The Obstacle is the Way, and Stefan Hanselman. I actually found this book at Barnes & Noble over in Berkeley, in Emeryville, actually. And when I saw it and I started reading a little bit about it, I was like, oh, I'm big into meditation. Meditation kind of helps you set the tone for your mindset as you move forward. So let me kind of break this down for you. Basically, every single day of the year. I know it's 365 days a year, but there's a couple of different ones that you add into there that will give you a different perspective on the day. So let's say your birthday is, January 6th today. This could help you with maybe something that you're going currently through in your life, or something to ponder, so that way you have a better perspective as you move forward. And other than that, you also get to probably hear some really cool stories and just how people back then were thinking about this. Because think about this, Greek philosophy, you're going back thousands of years. to see people who just thought about this stuff without even having technology like we have today.
Yeah, it's definitely true. It feels like we're obviously so glued to the way technology has evolved. We disconnected to what the whole purpose of philosophy is. Like back then, again, you're saying they didn't have anything, right? Like that?
No.
Well, obviously they were more in tune with themselves. People were a lot more back then. They have less distractions and shit.
I believe it was.
My opinion.
No, and Socrates, know thyself. And, you know, on different...
Bob Marley says it best, man. Well, at least from when you smoke the herb, you smoke the ganja, you reveal you to yourself.
And,
that quote.
And on a different episode, I will probably dive a little bit more onto the know thyself topic, because I believe, in my opinion, I believe that a lot of people can say, "Oh, that's a really good quote," but they won't.
They don't understand the actual meaning.
The
no,
depth.
You don't.
The depth
no, you don't. You really have to take yourself out from your perception. Like, wow, that's some powerful shit.
Yes, but now it's only up to the people who actually are willing to hear that and actually want to know about it. So if you're willing, fantastic. And if you're not, well, one day you might be, one day you might not. Either way, that's up to you, and I wish you the best on that journey for you. Seriously, I do.
What does that say, brother?
So, in quotations, and I should get my acting voice ready. A person who doesn't know what the universe is doesn't know where they are. No. A person who doesn't know their purpose in life doesn't know who they are or what the universe is. A person who doesn't know any one of these things doesn't know why they are here. So what to make of people who seek or avoid the praise of those who have no knowledge of where or who they are?
I thought you were going to read this.
Oh, well, I'm reading the quote, and then... If you,
okay.
Yeah. So, the late comedian Mitch Hedberg, I've actually never heard of this comedian. Are you familiar with him?
No, I have not.
Okay. We'll find out later on. Had a funny story he told in his act. Sitting down for an on-air interview, a radio DJ asked him, "So who are you?" In that moment, he had to think, is this guy really deep, or did I drive to the wrong question? How often are we asked a simple question like, "Who are you?" or "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" Considering it's a superficial question, if we all consider it all, we don't bother with more than a superficial answer. He's making a pretty solid point on that.
Yeah.
But gun to their head, most people couldn't give much in the way of substantive
I like how you
answer.
worded that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool. And I'll repeat that just in case you didn't understand. But gun to their head, most people couldn't give much in the way of a substantive. I can't pronounce the word. You got me out here.
It's all good. We all been there, man.
Yep.
I just kind of was like the way you asked it.
Substantive. I think it's substantive.
Yeah.
Answer. Could you? Have you taken the time to get clarity about who you are and what you stand for? Or are you too busy chasing unimportant things, mimicking the wrong influences, and following disappointing or unfulfilling or non-existent paths? So, from that was actually, thank you, that was actually really well written, and I really liked this
I like the gun to the head. The gun to their head. I like that staying in there.
Well, because it's obviously an extreme. Like, if like someone's like, "Tell me who you are right now," and they have the gun to your head, what would you say? Like, some people would be like, obviously, if I'm having a normal conversation with you and I have no idea who you are, and I go, "Oh, hi, how you doing? I'm Jordan. Pleasure to meet you. You're Damien. Pleasure to meet you. What do you do?" And then it's like, or who are you? And then you'll give me some type of answer. Maybe if you want to talk, you maybe give me a little bit more like a long-winded one.
A lot of times I think we would all. This should be the kind of last topic because we are.
Yeah,
kind of
this is the last topic. Yeah.
Okay. I guess it depends on. We always answer when it comes to like work, family, or anything when it comes to schooling or something where we're involved where we have to be part of like society. Like I remember Jack when we saw him a couple weeks ago, and he goes and asks me like, people always ask the same thing: "How are you? How's work?" Same thing. Does anyone ever ask you if you're happy where you are? And I was like, that is so damn true. No one ever asked that. Wow. So I thought to myself, I think I should ask that. So aside from, "Oh hey, how you doing?" Like, I don't mean to say, "Are you happy where you are?" Nothing like that. Just straight up out of the blue.
Just be like,
yeah, because the people would be taken aback by it. But
right.
I meant in a good way, meaning, just like how are things looking for you in your life right now? Kind of like that. A little different to where it's not like, "Are you happy?" I'm like, I'm trying to be your therapist.
Are
You don't even know me.
Are you happy with your life right now? Do we need to prescribe you some things so that you can distract yourself?
I'll be like, I got you. Hang on. All of a sudden I pull out. I got some weed. Okay, so there you go. Okay, there's some marijuana for you. Take it. You're gonna need it.
His first choice, ladies and gentlemen, marijuana. Holistic healing. Holistic healing since before
It's
the band.
herbs.
It's herbs.
There you go.
Dude, shamans.
It's a fucking plant.
Dude, people have been smoking weed since like the first human could probably like roll something and like spark it with a fire.
Dude, now my mind is blown because what did they roll with back then? How, like what was this? What was the method? How they did it? Like the technique. Like, can you imagine them like doing this like with like two sticks and just like making the I got it. I got what is this thing? I don't know, some type of joint. A joint. Yes. Success.
Yeah.
That is light.
You know what? I want to do some research on where the.
Let's do that in another episode.
Yeah, I want to do.
sure
I want to do the research on like where did joint come from. But there's so many different names for marijuana. Like you have Sensimilia. You have.
I never heard of that one.
Sensimilia is actually an island term for it. So Sensimilia.
Sensimilia.
Yeah, Sensimilia.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a really more exotic way of talking about that. But getting back to this real quick.
Yes.
So
we can finish. This.
But your perspective on what was talked about here.
Let's see. I'm gonna need to kind of skim through it again to rejog this freaking horrible ass.
So while he is catching up to speed,
yes,
I will give my take on it. So I believe Marcus is talking about how in our society we don't really focus on who we really are. And obviously we talked about Socrates, know thyself, and it kind of related to that. So that's kind of cool, law of attraction and synchronicity perspective. And we kind of just go through this whole thing of, oh yeah, I have a job, or I have a family, or I have a relationship, or I have this, that, the other. I'm doing this, that, the other, and we just do it so mundane. It's like you go to a party, and even if it's like an official party, not like one of those keggers, and you can't remember anything the next day, but you're actually having like a conversation, like an adult party where you're interacting with different people, and you ask them, so what do you do? And it's just like I don't know, what do? I live, I be. I'm a human being. I do things that human beings do, which is live. And then you give a title to it. And then after you give a title to it, you're just like, okay, so how do I handle this? How do I bring who I really am to this scenario when I'm only limited to the, oh, well, how are you doing today? And the,
I got my interpretation.
Awesome. The everyday questions. Who are you? How are you? What do you do? And I wish more people would say, in a different way, hey, so how are you? Are you happy today? Do you enjoy where you're at right now? Do you enjoy life in this moment? Or a better one would be, what do you do for the universe? What do you do for the collective? Like, you can tell me about your job, but what do you do as a person who's part of this world to help other people out on a bigger level than just yourself, if you do so? That's just my opinion.
I hear you, man. There's a lot of people, they just won't answer it in that type of way. Maybe their mind just hasn't been expanded that much. Like, it hasn't been expanded to reach those depths of conversation yet.
And that's true.
I think that's the main answer. Because if that was the case, if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be having people like myself or yourself going to those depths. So obviously, it's up to the actual person. My interpretation of that is, it's so true because think of it like, just the casual, like when you see someone walking by, oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
A lot of people can choose usually to answer that, or the typical answer would be, good.
And then they keep
I'm good. How are you? But obviously everything's not good. But we say that because, one, we probably don't want to, we're probably too lazy to go in depth about what's going on in our life right now. 2, nobody wants to hear about it. 3, no one wants to dump problems on other people. 4, we just don't know them, and we don't know their intentions. So a lot of us are pretty private with that. So when I get asked that, I mean, I'm no saint. I mean, I technically do that too, but I'm on the rush, especially when I'm on a job. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm just trying to get done to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Especially because how like my job is, so I don't really have time to like sit and chat. Maybe like 5 minutes max, but like that's it. But every minute like counts.
Right.
But in some situations, or in some situations I'm able to talk, but very rarely. But a lot of situations, whoever you talk to, I mean, think of it like family is a huge one. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, I'm doing good. How are you? It's like we throw it right back at them, but we don't really soak in the questions being asked. Then again, that person could just be running through the motions, is asking that question too, because it's like a program. It's like when that one time that fucking, I'm gonna use her name, Amy, when we were at Henry's house, and then she actually met you. But then she goes and says, like, hey, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's not a conversation. And she was saying, yes, it was. I said, it's not. There's no depth. It lacks. It's just a surface level generic response. It's not a conversation. That's not a convo. Conversation is when we're like playing catch. You say something, I say something, we're flowing, right?
Right.
She's just, you caught it, you threw it in.
So it's like you're playing like toss, and like she catches it, but then she decides to like just drop it and then just like leave it there.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So like people that tend to do that, they probably never had their minds expanded that much. For the people that do, now if you really ask them that, then they'll need clarification. And then I'm like, oh, then you're definitely, so you were asked this question before, or maybe you definitely expanded your mind a bit, because you wouldn't be asking this. You wouldn't be asking me like for clarity of what do I mean by that if I asked, how are you today? I'm like, what do you mean? So then I'm like, oh, there's an interest there. To me, there's an interest, because I'm like, oh, you're able to take what I said and expand it. So now I'm like, okay, now I got someone who's a little bit more intelligent than what I'm able to normally see.
Now, when
that
you
make
say
sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Now, when you say intelligence, what exactly do you mean by that? Because I know
they're able to like read between the lines of what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Not like you're stupid.
Right.
There are different forms of intelligence, as a lot of
yes, they knew. So that way, because I know what you mean by intelligence. I don't think they knew what you mean by intelligence. So
it's all good. Sure. Clarity, yes.
Yes, sorry about clarity. That, make sure that people understand the difference.
So that, I think, that's my interpretation of that type of passage right there, because we just don't think of it too deep than just the surface level, and that's a problem.
And we should start actively.
Yeah. My sweater says it. Connect. Balance, y'all. Connect. You gotta connect. You gotta open up and talk. It's the only way.
It's the only way to get to you, and introspection is always key in your life. But thank you all for joining us for this episode.
Yeah,
thank you.
A little bit later than normal.
Well, good. But it's okay though, and it's gonna keep getting better and better.
This is just the beginning.
So for me personally, I'm more than happy to make mistakes. If you stay and you like it, great. If you don't, you don't, and that's totally okay by me as well. Because I'm gonna keep doing this, because eventually this will be something that we just grow into, and it's gonna just work perfectly as it already is. So, with that being said, and Stone, thank you all, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube, whether you'll see this later. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the randomness that we brought to it. And
it was definitely fun, man. It was definitely a good one.
Yes, and if you're one of those people who love to leave comments, please let us know what you think, and make sure to like the page for both of them, for both Vibrations 2017 on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yes, find both the pages. Subscribe, follow. Whatever you guys want to do, spread the word. Write a letter. I don't care what you guys do. Write an email. I don't care. Just tune into the show, check it out, and tune in the other pages. Give it a follow. Yeah. Definitely help. And we definitely appreciate it.
And we will be making really cool updates to the Vibrations as this podcast goes on. We're gonna have some more adaptations to add, so this is gonna be a really fun, exciting trip.
Oh yes, the next couple weeks we're definitely having some guests lined up, so stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna let y'all know.
So Trance, with that being said, what is your famous lines to say as we leave them?
I don't know.
Has something to do with sugar?
Yeah, which I miss putting in my system, but it's not good for you.
No, it's not.
Oh yes, but you want to spread it though. Spread the sugar, y'all, and remember, settling is meddling.
That being said, keep the vibes well.
Keep it! Lock that shit! Keep it!
And we will see you all next week.
See you guys next week, 9 p.m. We out.
We out. Bam.